So, Freunde, buenos dias, and happy Lunar New Year. Sin Yang Kuala to all my Asian friends that are celebrating the new year. The year of the snake. May it be a bullish and prosperous year for you and your family. Now, looking into the Cosmos ecosystem price movements today, we're seeing everything slightly down besides Akash AKT, and there might be a reason for it. We're going to talk about it. But everything else slightly in the reds on very, very low levels, which continues to give us this opportunity to take the fate in our own hand and make 2025 the year of the snake, the most bullish year, because that means we can scoop cheap altcoins before alt season. And Trump, in fact, not only launched his own coin, but also keeps buying the dip. He bought a lot of altcoins, including one that is actually IBC compatible. But first of all, I want to talk about the vibe shift that we're seeing in Cosmos right now. Cosmos is entering a whole new era. It's entering an era where new builders, multi-billion-dollar chains are launching. Maxime from Ellis Network, big shout out, compiled a small list here. There's actually a lot more chains, but he said Berachain is coming. And even though they do not brand themselves as a Cosmos chain and went through many iterations and can be seen now as their own brand, Berachain still uses Comet BFT, which is the core consensus algorithm for the Cosmos ecosystem. They have moved away from using the Cosmos SDK to build their chain on, but they're still using Comet BFT, and as far as I understand, are also going to be fully IBC compatible, either standalone and natively integrated or through Union. We'll have to see how the final design looks like. But Berachain, multi-billion-dollar chain, and not only in market cap, but actually in TVL. They already have more than $2 billion deposited on their Boyko vaults, and Berachain isn't even live yet. Babylon, the pioneers that created the Bitcoin staking category and are leading the Bitcoin narrative and meta, already has $6 billion nearly in TVL. And you've been hearing about Babylon and Bera, by the way, back in 2022. So almost 3 years ago, we first talked about this here on this channel. And Babylon is a full-on Cosmos SDK, IBC-enabled blockchain that is going to generate yield for Bitcoin stakers. Initia, which is a roll-up framework similar to how Dymension and Saga works, is also about to launch. And Initia also has an ecosystem of roll-ups called Minitias that are going to launch with it, one of which is also Milky Way, that is going to be a liquid staking platform and a restaking platform. So that one's also big. Union is also a full-on Cosmos SDK blockchain. Same for Nillion, that's in the privacy and AI field, right? The blind computer. Then there's also Story Protocol, Story being the IP chain that is also built on the Cosmos SDK and fully IBC enabled. So we have all these new multi-billion-dollar chains while also having a lot of page one chains that are dominating entire verticals, such as Fetch AI for AI and agents, such as Mantra for RWA's tokenization, right? Especially real estate here in Dubai and the UAE, Akash for GPUs, and so on and so forth. So Cosmos will have a lot of things and will dominate and lead in many categories, infrastructure categories, fundamental categories. So I personally believe, and that's also my continued conviction since I started this channel, since I got into Cosmos really, that once we have fundamental season, Cosmos is going to do really well collectively as an ecosystem. Of course, selected coins will do better than others, but overall, I think that Cosmos is going to do really well this cycle once fundamental season will kick in. And yes, I also include Atom in that list. I still hold on my Atom. It underperformed over the years, so it's a smaller position now in my portfolio, around 8 or 10%. But nonetheless, I still hold Atom. I still believe in it, especially now with the new leadership around Mac and Barry and Interchain Labs, which is the new foundation, basically, the new core organization for the Cosmos ecosystem. So I believe Cosmos and Atom will have a resurrection miracle in a similar way how Solana had it. Now, in response to Zonny's tweet that Bera is not using the Cosmos SDK, Mark then said, Bera does run Comet BFT though, and Smokey, the founder of Berachain, then answered saying that he's excited to see Cosmos getting into the right direction. And then further he's saying that they're still steering clear of the brand, which I guess means they're not bragging about being Cosmos, but they're optimistic on where it will be in a few months. These are very big words from the founder of the inarguably biggest launch, most highly anticipated launch in crypto for 2025, alongside Monad maybe, but I think Berachain is going to have a bigger splash. Now, at the same time, we're also seeing a total reshuffling of the core contributors in the Cosmos ecosystem, and absolute OGs, Marko Baricevic and the Binary Builders team that have been maintaining the Cosmos SDK over the past years are now moving on and are building on Celestia, which itself is also a Cosmos SDK fully IBC-enabled blockchain. But that means the Cosmos SDK development is coming home is going to Interchain Labs, which is now really taking on a lot more accountability and responsibilities, not only for Atom and making the Cosmos Hub a true decentralized router, but also when it comes to driving forward the core development stack and maybe even shape up a real Cosmos ecosystem roadmap from a product and kind of technical point of view, which also means IBC development and also improvements on speed, Rust integrations and compatibility, privacy, and also EVM. And one of the next major milestones on Cosmos interoperability side of things is going to be IBC Eureka, which is native compatibility for IBC with Ethereum and EVM chains. And that is going to be a game changer for Cosmos interoperability. Now, that said, I've also been constantly questioning my own thesis over the years. My own thesis on whether this Cosmos thing, app chains, interoperability, sovereignty, IBC, whether that is going to work out or not. And I went deep down in Cosmos in 2021. And in fact, over the years, I went deeper and deeper, right? Whether with Stakecito, with cryptosrus here on this YouTube channel, whether with the Cito Zone, Cosmoverse, right? It's all tailored and centered around the Cosmos ecosystem. In 2024, to be honest, especially the second half of 2024, have been a very underwhelming year in terms of the performance, the excitement, and the brand of Cosmos, which also shook a lot of people out, right? But I sticked around and I truly believe that Cosmos will have its time. And with that, I'll also believe that I'll have my time and the Cito channel is going to grow to 100K plus subscribers at some point. And I actually decided to double down, triple down on my conviction about Cosmos IBC interoperability. And I believe that this is where crypto is going to head in the future, right? Eventually, everything will be Cosmos, because as soon as a chain is going to connect natively to IBC, then it is part of Cosmos, in my book at least, right? The Cosmosification of crypto is in full swing. And with those multi-billion-dollar launches that are around the corner, I think there's not only more excitement and a proof that this thesis is correct, but also opportunities to position yourself. And that's exactly what I'll be doing with Cito Ventures, which is basically formalizing my angel investments that I've been doing over the years. And the thing is, as a YouTuber and KOL or content creator, whatever you want to call it, I've always been disclosing my investments here on this channel, but it's always been centered around me, right? And I think with Cito Ventures, I want to formalize that a lot more so that there's going to be a web page, a landing page on the Cito Zone website that says Cito Ventures, and boom, at one glance, you see all the current investments, all the horses I have in the game in the Cosmos ecosystem. So you see my biases, you see my convictions, you see my skin in the game, and you see just where I'm putting my money in, right? So yeah, give Cito Ventures a follow here on Twitter, Cito Ventures all together. I'll also leave a link in the top video description. And also give a follow and check out Cito Plus, which is our premium community that already has over 50 members. We launched in stealth in December, and only a very few amount of people got in. Now we're going to open it up. You can join the waitlist right now. It is $39 a month and gives you access to exclusive content, exclusive founder interviews. We already did one on Sunday with JP, and it is a lot more peer-to-peer. It's a lot more direct conversations that I'm having that you can also join on stage. You can ask questions. You can ask me questions, my team questions, get feedback on your portfolio strategies, get feedback on your airdrop portfolios, and all those kind of things. And we're updating all those things in real time. So we're putting a lot of work and efforts into Cito Plus. We're also sharing our own portfolios here, and so on and so forth. Now, we had this massive bang on the stock market and in crypto the other day when DeepSeek came out, which is a Chinese competitor to ChatGPT that apparently only cost a fraction to develop than what ChatGPT costed, which, to be honest, I personally don't really believe that, but it is what it is. Apparently only cost like 6 or 10 million to develop. But now that it got out of the bag, DeepSeek actually went down. The service went down because it was overloaded. And that is raising the demand for decentralizing the underlying infrastructure behind those chatbots and AI agents and whatever you want to call it. And that's exactly where Akash network comes in, which I've been preaching about since 4 years now. It's been one of the earliest Cosmos coins I bought. It's also now my second largest position in my liquid portfolio after hedera hbar, which I've been holding forever as well and just never sold. But Akash is definitely one that I'm more up to date with, that I'm also deeply connected to with Greg and the founding team. And Akash is now fully integrated with DeepSeek, or DeepSeek is integrated with Akash network. And there you don't have downtime and you have full self-custody. That is the power of Akash network. And I think that it's an absolute no-brainer and essential, a blue chip to hold in your portfolio, especially if you're invested in the Cosmos ecosystem, but also if you're bullish on AI and that crossover between AI and crypto. I believe Akash AKT is an absolute must. And Ran also believes that from Crypto Banter. He just covered Akash AKT also on the channel after this whole DeepSeek drama came out. And yeah, he said they were also one of the fastest and early adopters to integrate DeepSeek onto their platform. And yeah, they also met a customer. So I think they knew each other before, Greg and Ran, but definitely good to see that Ran is also getting AKT more and more covered on the channel and has them more on their map. And as a quick reminder, Akash is a non-DeFi, non-finance related use case, right? It actually has strong product market fit, which is rare, not only rare, it's like inexistent in crypto, right? Like this doesn't happen. Crypto is all about speculation, it's all about memes, it's all about making money quick. But Akash is one of the few projects that has actual on-chain demand for a working product. And that is absolutely crazy in my book, at least, and just shows how important this project is and how it also works, right? And if you look at the chart, this is daily spent on Akash network, right? This is not speculation. This is not some sort of economic flywheel or incentives or point system. This is actual demand to rent out those services, GPU on Akash network. And it's up and to the right, up only. Pretty much this huge breakout in late 2023. And since then, it has gone absolutely parabolic. Still small and tiny, obviously, compared to the traditional landscape of cloud providers, but Akash is the super cloud. It's a decentralized cloud provider that is in absolutely explosive growth mode right now. And Greg is one of the smartest, most outspoken, most respected leaders in our industry. The same counts for Mantra Om. JP, the founder of Mantra, in my view, one of the best founders in crypto, one of the smartest, one of the hardest working guys in all of crypto. And yes, they did have issues around their airdrop communication. It was definitely not ideal. I also criticized that here on the channel. But that's exactly where JP's leadership comes in, because JP is not shying away from that. He's not hiding. He's not trying to fight back or get defensive, right? Which I have also been in positions myself, and I know how hard it can be if you have to communicate a tough message to the community. And yeah, maybe take a bullet for some other external circumstances or just assumptions that have changed over time. And JP is not shying away. He's taking accountability, he's listening to the feedback and the critics, and he's just taking action upon that and learning from it to make to not repeat the same mistake. But if you look at the chart, the chart is absolutely parabolic. And I remember reconnecting with JP, whom I met actually in China back in 2019, 2020, around that time. We reconnected for a shisha here. I also made a post about this on Twitter sometime in, I think it was 2023, when almost just at like 2 or 3 cents, and then went on this run. And then they announced their airdrop for 50 million which back then was just like $3 to $5 million or something. And now it's worth more than $200 million, $220 million, right? So absolutely crazy. On March 18th, though, we're getting our first 10% of the airdrop. And after that, there's a 6-month cliff. And then from September onwards, we're getting our airdrop vested monthly for 18 months, if I remember correctly on top of my head. So that's Mantra On. Big shout out to JP and the Mantra team. They definitely have a lot of things cooking, and the hustle is obviously showing also on the charts. Next up, we also have Osmosis. They also have been relentlessly shipping and building over the years, refining tokenomics, strong product market fit as the interchain DEX. That's personally how I see it. Now they are getting more and more into the Bitcoin ecosystem, also to become the Bitcoin DEX and Bitcoin L2, which is what Sunny also tweeted a couple of months ago. Also, I think they still want to be this IBC hub and the real hub in Cosmos, which, to be honest, I also criticized that I think they're trying to do too many things. I would love for them to just focus on one thing, identify as one thing, and run with that and really dominate that, right? And if it's interchain DEX, then I'm fully on board with that, and I'll love to see that. And the numbers are also backing that up, right? Like Osmosis really has deep liquidity, very efficient with their concentrated liquidity pools. They have alloyed assets. They have Bitcoin liquidity now more and more, which is cool. But then also, in true Sunny fashion, he's firing shots at competitors, especially if they're going through rough times. So Sunny's recent tweet, which is the debt-free Bitcoin DEX, was a shot directly fired at ThorChain, which went through this event with their lending protocol that accrued around $75 million in debt, in protocol debt. And my personal opinion, to be honest, which comes from a large Osmo holder and true believer in Osmosis and in Sunny and in their vision, is that, you know, they're not really in a position to do that, in my opinion at least, because Osmo is still on page 3 or 4, right? It's currently not part of the conversation. I really hope they can pull it off. Maybe Polaris can revive excitement around Osmosis, but yeah, it really needs to get more and more out there. And the Osmo token to also be valuable again, right? Because right now it's absolutely wild to see Osmo below 40 cents. That's insanely undervalued on one hand, but also in my view, very dangerous to fall into this hole where it's very hard to come out of. Now, if you want to trade Bitcoin, you can do that on Osmosis, which is now also going with this Bitmosis narrative, and $39 billion in trade volume was a huge milestone they have just accomplished ever since they launched in June of 2021. Actually, Osmosis and I share the same birthday. June 19, 2021 is when Osmosis launched their mainnet. So that's good to see. I still hold Osmo strong, and I believe that they can pull it off, but something needs to happen, and Osmo really needs to have a revival pump. Like, something needs to happen, right? Because right now it's just absolutely wild how low Osmo is. Now, on the other hand, ThorChain continues to attract growing numbers of swappers. And yes, I'm consciously covering ThorChain right now because even though they are going through these tough times after this incident with the lending protocol, the underlying DEX is still strong, and volumes are still strong, and they still have a core community that is fundamentally aligned with ThorChain. And I just want to emphasize that my Osmo bags are currently exponentially larger than my Rune bags, but I just don't think that firing at them right now is a smart move. On the other hand, I do think that Rune actually is undervalued now because, yes, they do have this core community. Eric Voorhees is a big fan. They have decent volumes. They are still profitable and making money. And I think ThorChain and Rune are going to have a comeback. Yes, JP also maybe had a phase where he was trying to do way too many things at a time. And I think I also talked about this on the channel a couple of months ago because he was just tweeting about so many things and VaultSig, and they wanted to launch a phone, and they have this app layer, and they acquired Kujira, and like they also tried to do way too many things at a time. At least that's how I felt about it. But JP also rightfully saying protocols disappear when people stop caring. And it's clear that there's a huge group of people that care about ThorChain. And that's just true, right? And ThorChain also had issues back in the day when they launched, but they also went through those times and are coming back and came back. And I think they will do a similar thing right now. But now let's talk about the new star, the new superstar in crypto. That is Movement Labs. The Move token went to 90 cents yesterday as it became public that Trump's World Liberty Finance, which is Trump's DeFi project on Ethereum, started buying Move tokens. They actually bought Move on Ethereum network. Right now, Move is issued as an ERC20 token on Ethereum because their mainnet is not live yet. Move itself is going to be its own L1 or L2, whatever you want to call it, but they will have their own chain, their own environment, and a sovereign environment. And that is the third biggest chain that is going to implement the Move VM, the Move virtual machine, after Sui and Aptos, which are both originating from the original Facebook team, aka the Diem or Libra team back in the day, which then split up, and now we have Movement as the third huge contender in the Move space, the Alt VM, alternative virtual machine space, which I think is also going to be very, very big. Move is also going to be fully IBC compatible, so they will also be part of Cosmos. I did an interview with Rushi. In fact, it was November 2023 when I interviewed Rushi here, and we talked a lot about modularity, interoperability, about Cosmos, all these kind of things. And it's just amazing to see how far Rushi came. He's like a superstar now. And I also tweeted about this last year in April, that Rushi's main character material for this cycle, and he's only 21. Well, now he's 22, I guess, but absolutely smashing it, that guy. Super, super smart, and just a very deep understanding of Move, of crypto, of Cosmos, IBC, of Ethereum, and a relentless hustler. Ambitious young guy, very smart guy, and you can already see this guy definitely has main character vibes. And apparently it's not only that World Liberty has bought $4 million in Move tokens, but also that Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency is evaluating to use the Movement blockchain for government operations, which would be crazy. But yeah, we'll see where this is leading to. In fact, they just announced the Movement developer net on mainnet now, so that is already live, and they have a phased rollout for the road to mainnet, with the Move drop then being the final part of that. So I personally still hope and wish that Celestia stakers, Celestine sloth holders, and also maybe Mammoth holders are getting a Move airdrop. That would be amazing, and at a valuation of around $8 billion, that should be a juicy one. But we'll see, and I'll definitely keep you posted here on the channel, and faster and more in real time at the Cito Plus community. Speaking of airdrops, the Pryzm airdrop checker just went live, and if you've been staking with the Pryzm validator, then you're getting 10 Pryzm tokens for every dollar in commission that you paid to the validator. Then we also have Dymension Wizards, which is a new NFT collection for the Dymension community that is going to be giving out whitelist spots for the Dime stakers, Zenode holders, Mammoth holders, Sloth holders, and also other communities, whatever that means. But cosmonauts are definitely going to be eligible for that one. And speaking of NFTs, we also just made a full breakdown of the Omi's NFT collection by Mantra, which has been a very, very nice collection, a very nice mint. I hope you all got to mint a bunch of them because they did 120, 130x. There's even one with a Shisha trade. I still have to get one of those for myself. The Shisha Cito Omi NFT needs to be in my wallet. I don't have one yet. I think there's like 30, 40 of them. But yeah, that's definitely one I need to scoop. And then another airdrop that was just distributed by Saga, Vault 9, the 10th Saga airdrop already, should be now in your wallet. I already restaked all of that because I want to be eligible for the next round and then the following round after that. And yeah, there's probably going to be more. Saga also has their 1-year anniversary coming in April, which also means unlocks are starting to happen. And that's going to be interesting to see what they are shipping shortly before that or around that, because I think there definitely needs to be some new excitement and new era for Saga with hopefully the launch of the liquidity integration layer and the first games or the first AI agents to launch their own chainlets. Now that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Give a like and share this video with cosmonauts near you. Also join the waitlist for Cito Plus and follow me on Twitter with Cito Ventures, my new ventures arm that's now formally being announced. I'll see you very soon here on Cryptosrus. Until then, stay safe and be good.